Hey everyone, I got a question. Is the name of the title going to make it past censors? Well, it's called Shithouse. Well, the fact that you just bleeped out means that we're probably in trouble. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to JBuck Studios, your home for reviews, reactions, and ridiculousness. And it's a little bit early of a movie review. Shout out to IFC Films for hooking me up with an early screener. It's coming out this Friday on VOD, and it's called Shithouse. A homesick college freshman goes to a party, but ends up spending the night with his sophomore RA, who's had a shitty day and wants someone to hang out with. So is this new college party kind of type movie a must-see from IFC? Let's find out. But before I get into my thoughts, let me know what you guys thought. If you're looking forward to this Shithouse movie, love a good shithouse, love a good partying, shit! Now let's get into some of the good. So this Shithouse movie, I'm gonna try not to say shithouse so much because I don't like swearing on this and I don't want to put a bunch of bleeps in, but this movie is sort of a slice of life type movie. It very much takes this character who is new in college, kind of the first 6 months of his college experience. He is not making friends, he is not meeting people, he essentially hates it. And I think that right there, that setup, that kind of situation is something that a lot of people can kind of relate with. Honestly, for myself, if I saw this movie in college, it would very much make me feel better about my life because I felt like this character. And you can see how he's beaten down, he's depressed, this is not for him, and he's calling his parents, and he's kind of hinting at, I want to go home, this is scary, I can't do this. And I think that the way that they captured this, in this, like I said, kind of slice of life story, I mean, it does branch out a little bit from there, but I think that this very much encompasses how a lot of people feel going to college, because it is scary, it is tough, it is an experience, especially when you come from a small town, you don't know how to adapt, really. And it does dive into kind of how people adapt, how to break down those walls, how to essentially yes and go along with people to then therefore make friends. And I think that slice of life, exploring how people go off, and it's just kind of, you know, roll the dice, take a chance, go left instead of right, and you don't know exactly how that's all going to play out. And it kind of plays out in this, like, very heartfelt way. And the fact that this movie is directed, written, and stars as one of the main characters, Cooper Raiff, I believe, and then his chemistry with the RA, Gelula, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, I think that they worked fairly well. Again, they both have their problems, they come together, and it's this experience that I think a lot of people, again, can relate to, of staying up all night, drinking alcohol, and learning about someone else. Essentially a stranger, sit down, figure out what is making them tick, who they are, what are their interests and whatnot, and then going on this nightly adventure. So I think that the chemistry, or almost lack thereof chemistry between them, made for this awkward, but again, heartfelt kind of night and whatnot. But then his interactions and her interactions with other people at the college felt like a college first year freshman dorm, essentially. When you first meet people, you're kind of like, eh, but then by the end of the year, you're absolutely loving them. Like, honestly, it had this little bit of nostalgic feel. Either good nostalgia, bad nostalgia, it just had that feel, essentially taking me back to being in college, that I thought was very authentic. It felt raw, essentially. However, with this Shithouse movie being almost a slice of life movie, I mean, again, it's kind of a faux slice of life, like it's a night or two in these people's lives. It doesn't feel like the plot is too deep, too heavy, essentially. I mean, it's following these two characters, you're figuring out things about them, you're figuring out what makes them tick, the conflicts, you know, the struggles that they've kind of gone through and whatnot, and their past. But it doesn't feel like there's this drastic, like, up and down between these characters. Sure, there is a conflict in this movie, that is another thing that I think is a little bit, not necessarily hit home as strong as I wanted, is that these two characters, our main character, who is played by Cooper, and then Dylan, the RA, they sort of run into a roadblock, or there is, like I said, a conflict in there, but I feel like it's very much rushed. It's very much almost thrown in there and forced into kind of dividing these two characters, essentially. Again, you realize from the backstories of these two characters, one that is kind of lonely and one that is dealing with her own personal demons, essentially, and a bad day, you can see how or why this rift between them essentially comes to be, but I didn't think that it was entirely hit home. It didn't entirely feel real to me. I think it's just the fact that it wasn't resolved in the greatest or best way. It's kind of pushed towards the background a little bit, and I almost wish that they would have brought that in the forefront a little bit more, tackling, really diving into these characters' problems to see how they evolve by the end of the movie. Overall, Shithouse is a story that I believe a lot of college students could probably relate to, with it featuring, like I said, that genuine slice of life story that really hit me, almost felt nostalgic, and chemistry between our two main leads that I thought worked fairly well, but with some conflict problems and a plot, almost the slice of life, the plot being a little bit shallow because of that. I'm right on the line of you should check out Shithouse or skip out on this one. I mean, it did hit me on those kind of familiar levels of I've been through this. I think that if I would have seen this when I was in college at that time, it would have very much almost helped me and changed my mind. But if you're not into that slice of life story, it's probably not going to work for you. In closing, I'm going to give Shithouse 2.5 out of 5 college parties. So what did you guys think of Shithouse? If you've already seen this one, or very much now kind of skipping away from it because you don't want to bring up those bad memories from college, I want to know in the comments down below. Anyways though, as always, thank you so much for watching. Watch some more videos up there or right over there, you know, brand new content every single week here on the JBuck Studios channel. I'm not entirely sure what is coming the rest of the week, so be sure to stay tuned by all of my social media. Twitter is the best for updates. Like this video, subscribe to the JBuck Studios channel, and until next time, we'll see you later.